He'll nod.
Zephyros takes a step back. Makranam gets off Zephyros and turns into a big vase.
I'm gonna put a mage armor on myself.
Okay. Is the hand out still, or?
No, it's gonna be in the pouch.
All right.
I will also do I will say, actually, I'll vanish. I will silent image a professor somewhere else on the other side of the portal. And I will then smash the spider.
Okay. Kind of in the vial, the whole thing, just
Don't let Malbut see.
Smash it into the circle there.
Okay, well you smash the vial and now the spider is like crawling around on the
I will step on it on the portal and sacrifice it to the portal.
Okay, you turn visible.
I will curse a bit and use
This big spider kind of
vanish.
Yep. You do notice that there's a little pulse that goes across the lettering, and now you can see this grim clock that is slowly, like a second hand, moving. Now, we'll say it's a minute hand, but you do see that this wave, like a second hand, flowing throughout the clock, and as it passes, you can see what letter or what word it's pointing at.
I will take a gander at that, and I will...
It's an arcane word. It's gibberish to anyone else.
I'll say it out loud.
Okay, so Narash. You say it perfectly because you speak the language, and the clock face sort of bends in, and there's this almost like a keyhole, perfectly circular in the center. Like the whole clock face is concave and bending in.
Well, here goes nothing. I will cast Dimension Hop.
Okay, casting Dimension Hop and touching the circle.
I'm holding the spell in my hand. I'm afraid if I do this, it's just gonna send me to Hades now that it's unlocked.
We'll find you.
Okay, you cast Dimension Lock, and instead of actually Dimension Hop, instead of actually doing it, you channel the energy into the circle, and there's a pop as the floorboards bend back into place, revealing a hatch.
Oh, seems to have worked.
Is the string pointing at the hatch?
It's a good question. Doesn't Ludo have it?
The pouch?
The string from
No, it got transferred to... It got back... Well, it must still be on the wand, huh? I took it off before we did something. And I think it went back on.
On the wand with the key one, right?
Yeah, because it was attracted to it. But I took it off for some reason. We were doing something where...
I don't know, somebody's got it.
I'll have it.
Okay. You pull out the key.
Yeah, pull out the key. See what that thing's doing.
You kind of tap the yarn, and yeah, you notice that it floats up and it points down towards the hatch.
Well, all right then.
Well,
Bottle over and
Manny takes a step out from cover when he sees Ludo being brave. The hatch has just a big pull ring on it.
well, we figured out how to open it.
Do you suspect it's a pit of dead people?
I'll glance down into it.
It's a hatch door with a pull ring
Shall we?
that got revealed by the spell. It's like it wasn't even there, and now you're seeing what is true.
Yes, definitely you should open it. I mean, we've come this far.
I'll start to open it.
Okay, the hatch makes a strange kind of like almost like air, like hiss, like there was a change in pressure. And that's a far way down. There is a candle-lit room that is 60 feet down. Along a wall leading up to the backside of the hatch is a sturdy metal ladder that has a nice patina to it from age. And I'm going to reveal a new map. Looking down into the chamber, there are thousands of little candles that are pushed up to the side of the walls of the big cistern-like chamber. Loading. And there's a hallway that disappears into the darkness from your vantage point of 60 feet up. So you're looking down into here, and 60 feet down, man, he just scratches his head. That's not right. That's under the ass of the hut with the chicken feet.
It is, isn't it?
It's a dimensional thing like the fireplace.
Huh?
It's a dimensional door to the underworld.
I said it's a dimensional thing like the fireplace.
Yeah, I heard what you said, but it doesn't. It's kind of freaking me out.
That's reasonable.
Okay, Vladimir was
Strange
interested
concept.
and then just kind of got bored. Like he's not interested anymore. He's watching you, but he wasn't as intently watching you. Yeah.
Let's listen. Is there anything going on down there?
Let's put your tokens off to the side here. After listening for a bit, it is pretty quiet. Something definitely lit those candles. It all along the edges. There's like decades, if not a century worth of candles that have completely burned out, creating this wax sort of wedge up against the side of the walls. About half a dozen candles are lit, some of them kind of flickering near the ends of their lives.
Do you want to call out the child?
Yes, I suppose we should, shan't we? Then I will.
I think I'll cast Vanish on myself and actually fly down.
Okay.
Because I can sort of fly back up if I really have to.
Yep, there's enough room for you to fly because you're not a perfect flyer, but you can swoop down and land. So that black square is the top of the hatch. These are the big braces at the sides of the ladder that go all the way down. You notice a couple points in the ladder through misuse or spells or something or a battle. You noticed some of the rungs are missing, but it's not to the point where you can't use the ladder anymore. The walls seem to be made out of a very smooth stone. Like climbing it might be near impossible.
Yeah.
Like very, very almost like machine cut stone stone blocks. You land and there is a door at the end of a very short hallway. This door has all sorts of Hadean style runes on it, and they kind of dance a little bit. Like there's some magical tracery kind of going through the magical circuitry and meeting up with others and then fracturing, and it's a very beautiful door. You get the sense of like tree roots all kind of in a weave.
Is there blood or bones?
Yeah, there are a few bones down here.
Have people been thrown down this tube?
You see something kind of like, oh, it's stuck in the wax. There's a skeletal looking imp would be the way to describe it. That's kind of like sealed in the wax, like it died and just got swept off to the side, and then somebody put candles on it for a century, or at least 100 candles.
Yeah.
Where all the candles are coming from, but it smells waxy, a bit of aromatic from the different types of candles that were used. There's also an underlying, like, little whiff of death.
A whisper of death.
With a note of death.
It's a song.
Right.
There's a ladder going down, right?
Yep.
So one could climb back up if one went down there, in theory.
In theory.
I will start flying back.
Okay. Yeah, the door seems to be pretty. This door. Yeah, it seems to be pretty tight to its frame. You don't get any information off of it. There is a handle on the door, like you can open it.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll say there's also a knocker on the door.
Okay. I will not knock.
Okay.
That's what
knock,
other people do.
A knocker, and there's a handle. And Hadean runes. There's a dead imp over here. And lots of wax and candles.
Well, I would like to take a look if possible. Do I have a rope? Does anybody have a rope?
We just kick you down there.
Well, as much as I would enjoy the experience.
Pixel's like, be careful.
Does anyone have a... yes, a rope. I'll take out my 50-foot silk rope.
Yep.
Tie one end around myself. Give the other end to Zephyros. And say, if anything happens to me, pull me back up, good chap. And I will climb down as much as the rope will allow me.
Okay, so you're approximately 15 feet from the bottom. The Zephyrus has got a good amount around one of his arms, and
I'll explain a little bit about what's down there, how the ladder has some missing rungs.
Yep. All you see is the rope being thrown down and then kind of growing taut near the bottom, and you can hear the professor breathing.
Can I see the door?
Yep.
Can I read the Hadean?
No, they're more like stylized runes. It's not really saying anything.
What are they trying to impart with their general
knowledge planes.
I say, what do you make of this door?
I'll fly up to above the professor.
Okay. It'll grab onto the iron rot.
And say, I don't know. It looks like a very nice door.
I will
The runes look very magical.
talk with her about it and see if she has any knowledge planes to throw my way. Would I roll this? Do you aid?
Yeah, I'll aid you on a knowledge planes, sure.
18.
The door and the metal of the door, the composition of the door and the theme of the door suggests that you are not in the slough any longer. Like, yes, by opening up the portal that revealed the hatch that went through the bowels of the hut with chicken feet is actually not only metaphorically, but perhaps actually in a different plane.
Do I know? Does it seem like the same plane as the hut itself? Because when I use my book
Or
in
that
the
room
hut,
in the back of the hut?
what's that?
Or that room in the back of the hut
Yeah,
that we've also been in?
because I've used my page-bound epiphany in the hut, and it fills with not slew station sort of knowledge. It definitely is a different plane from what I could tell.
Yep. And for you guys, the talks of the heavens and hells are very... You know that there are stories of people living in these places, but they're very far removed. Like, you have stories of heroes traversing the pearls, but like you would have to go back to the time of those that bequeathed before the inherited gods
Okay.
to really talk about traversing hell and heaven. Like, this is just beyond.
Yeah.
Perhaps this is just stylized after it, but you've definitely gone to perhaps a different place. And there's some spatial warping going on here, because this should be coming out the ass, the chicken. The chicken hut. The chicken feet.
Yeah.
I'll call up to Zephyros, say, Zephyros, hold me tight. I'm going to let go of the ladder. I will lean against the weight.
Okay.
I will take out my blank book. I will...
You just kind of like...
Yeah.
Okay.
One of them. I'm going to spell recall my page-bound epiphany and recast it and ask, what is this door?
Zephyro makes a strength check and he's cursing a little bit like he wasn't expecting this. What is the door?
What is this door? What is it, or where does it lead?
Sure.
So, is this a knowledge planes?
This is a knowledge planes.
So,
I am going to read over your shoulder on this because I'm very interested in it too.
See all these weird images and words, and he's trying to get as much from it as he can.
so you'll aid me on that one by looking at the book too?
If I can, yeah.
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 Alright, and knowledge planes?
Tech has already started to descend into the room. He's climbing down the ladder,
I got
which you can do with two of his arms, and the other two of the arms can have a blade out. And he can also do it backwards because he's
Right.
bug and his
Yeah.
knees go the wrong way.
22. I
That's
cannot
awesome.
roll above
Yeah.
10 today.
22.
Mm-hmm. It's a plus 18 on that one.
So you're asking, what is this door?
Uh-huh.
You get kind of a really
Also, like, what kind of shit fills the book when I use page-bound epiphany in this plane?
it's similar to what you got in the hut. Perhaps a tad grimmer.
Tab what?
Grimmer.
Oh, nice.
It simply says, this is the door to the under hut.
That's all it says?
Nope.
Nope.
A realm beneath the dancing hut of Baba Yaga.
That is some information.
There we go.
And you know that the room beyond is actually just a storeroom.
Oh.
Are you serious?
Yep.
Well, a storeroom, Pharisee. Shall we,
I wonder what's stored there, don't you?
I'd like to know.
Let's have Ludo take a look at it. He seems to be good with things that hurt you
Yeah, I am.
when you don't expect it.
By this time, Tech's lower leg has found the professor on the ladder. There is something here.
I think I would turn invisible
Turn
somewhere
invisible?
in this silliness.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we're both visible by now.
My vanish will warm.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right. It is just the professor.
Oh, hello, Tech.
Are you quite all right?
Quite all right, thank you.
Okay, with one of his arms, he rights you to the ladder.
Ah, splendid.
You can let go of the rope now.
And for the last 10 feet, he just hops down, like Tech just hops down into the room.
Once. That's all right, Zephyros. Let go of the rope.
Okay, the rope goes slack and the end just gets tossed off the end.
I
Or the
will
edge.
jump off the ladder and start coiling up the rope and stowing it.
Okay, Pharisee, what are you doing?
Oh,
I'm going to go to this side of the door. Kind of over here.
Mm-hmm.
And just kind of keep an eye on things while I wait for other people to come down. Pixel can come down and shed a little bit of light. I am also curious who is lighting candles down here, so I'm gonna ask Tech, look for signs of who else has been down here.
Okay, Tech.
While everybody's coming down and Ludo, I presume, is going to take a look at the lock, I'm going to start doing a psychometry check of this place.
You going down there, or we're just shutting the hatch on them?
Part of me wants to shut that hatch.
There's a storeroom.
Yeah, Ludo's,
I wonder what's stored in it.
Ooh, nice one.
And part of me wonders what's in the storeroom. Oh, how far is the drop down there?
60 feet down.
Then they threw the rope down already?
Yeah, but there's a ladder.
Oh, thank God. Okay. That's what those circles are.
Someone should maybe stay up top to reopen it if we need it reopened.
Malbut couldn't remain up here. With a nice kitty cat, yes, I'll stay up here.
No,
Keep it open.
You look a little weak. I don't know if you'd be strong enough to even open this.
I can leave Mokranam up here.
Oh, yes, I can guard. I'm a good guard. No one will ever expect me, Mokranam, who's guarding.
Ludo's gonna pop down.
Should I be a bucket, or a face, or a basket, or a glass? Oh, the options are endless.
Could Makanom use his super sticky ability to, like, stick to the floor and the hatch so it can't close?
He could do all sorts of sticky things with his goo.
Oh, I'm gonna turn into a different bag.
And he's like this weird backpack near the door. Ludo, you've got you got your cape of feather falling, right?
Oh,
You could
yeah.
just jump down.
That would have been way cooler.
Okay, but you're climbing down the ladder, you're like, oh yeah, I got my cape.
Damn it. After I'm at like the very bottom.
Give me a survival check for Tech as Zephyros is now trying to lumber down the ladder. It's a good thing that it's made out of
I was
metal.
gonna say it as it breaks.
Nope. Manny's covering the top as you guys are there.
33. On tracking, it'd be 31 on just general survival.
There is a general road between the ladder and the door. People come back and forth, but there is a little creature in here.
He points to little tiny clawed feet
Some sort of imp.
and like maybe clawed hands. He points there, like all over in the wax.
Like that. Like that imp?
Yes,
But not that imp.
He pushes his blade through the wax and kind of touches the bone, and the bone separates from the creature.
no, not that imp.
Good. So it's probably in... It's probably around.
Somewhere around this point, I'll finish my minute of psychometry with a 28 to feel out what's going on with this room. I'll beat the DC by 10, so I get extra info.
You're psychometrying the room.
Uh-huh.
Can you give me a will save?
Fuck yeah. You know, you psychometry something good when it tries to kill you. And I'm not drunk this time, but I have been rolling real bad. 20.
Okay. There is some endless drudgery. You almost feel a decade older through your experiencing of somebody who just comes out here every day for endless days to light candles. But it's also got this periodic tinge of absolute horror and or carnage. Like the centuries are punctured by something very bad. The walls themselves bristle in fear at the comings and goings of someone who floats.
Pennywise?
I need a good name for an imp.
Yarlith?
Cool.
I was gonna say Tim.
Some
Much
call
more
him
creative.
Tim.
Some call him Tim. Okay. Manny now climbs down. Makranam, you can feel watching you, and Malbut, you can actually see watching all of you.
I'll start to mumble an explanation of what I've seen in my vision. The centuries, endless work, always the candles, lighting and lighting and lighting. Oh no! Oh, it comes again! Oh, the carnage, the horror! He floats! I feel it in the walls!
Every once in a while, like, this place feels like a prison, actually. Like, it's... You don't have a good feeling from it.
Let's get out, it's a prison! Oh, walls.
There's a ladder that goes up to a hatch. You can see Malbut looking down at all of you. It doesn't feel very prisonish.
I'll sort of wrap my arms around myself and rock back and forth.
Okay.
We open the door, we'll find an imp, won't we?
I think he's trapped here. I think his job is to relight these candles for eternity. But something else.
That one got on a bit.
Yes.
Something comes.
There's always one way out, isn't there?
Something comes with the centuries. Something dark.
Do you think the imp will be friendly?
Perhaps. As long as we don't ask him to light candles.
I'll have Pixel hold a charge of Touch of Idiocy.
Okay. She giggles.
I will step off to the side and sort of grandly gesture towards the door. Ludo, I've done all I can with this room. Perhaps you can take a look at the door.
Let's see what we got here. I'm gonna
Okay,
examine it.
there's like a handle with like a thumb opening mechanism.
Okay.
Like a real old timey kind of door.
Yeah.
There's a knocker in the middle. The knocker looks like it's a ball gag inside of like a little gargoyle face.
Classy.
And then there's runes on it.
Yep. And there is this lock The lock is weird in that it's like there was a lock, but somebody poured iron into it to make it shut.
Well, you see here, got a solid lock. I'm not exactly sure. I guess someone's trying to keep something in forever?
Sure.
Not quite
Is there
sure.
another way around it? Maybe it opens from the inside. Maybe you have to knock.
I'm gonna be examining it. Yes, but I'd like to take a bit of a stealthier entrance. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, if possible.
Can Ludo attempt to do anything with this? It seems pretty... not much to fiddle with other than those
You could
rooms.
try to the lock's going to be on the side of the door. You could try to stick your tools into the side and maybe try to open it that way.
Okay, I don't recognize these runes from maybe the museum runes we saw or anything like that.
No, it kind of looked like the grim clock that led to this place.
Okay. Let's see. Need to do...
Same kind of style as the runes in the floor of the hut above. You think it's above.
And do I detect a trap on this?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
$16.
Nope, nothing obvious.
Very good. Well, there goes nothing. Or no.
The other thing is, that keyhole might be filled in, but you have a key that seems to work on every keyhole.
But would it lead... well... okay.
I don't know where it would lead.
Ludo's going to, yeah. He'll take out the DM key,
Okay.
hold it towards the door, see if any reaction happens. Glue.
Well, the
Blue
key
light.
is moving kind of
Right.
as you pull it out for your extra dimensional space. What are you doing with the key?
Pointing it towards that lock.
Okay, you've got it pointed towards it, maybe about a foot between the end
Yeah.
of the key and you.
It's getting closer. Just so I can
Closer.
see.
6 inches, 3.
2.
Oh yeah, something's happening to the keyhole. It's like it's opening up like a flower. And you stick the key in and the door just kind of clanks and it opens up. You must have startled whatever was inside this surprisingly small room. There's another door across the opposite side. However, amongst the shelves and a active kind of kitchen, there's like something toppled, a bottle toppled, and then there was a scrambling, and then a pan kind of got jostled, and it looks like a bunch of wax spilled onto the burner, and there's a scramble again, and whatever it is, it's moving around the tops of the surfaces in the room where there are a bunch of bins and tools and storage supplies.
Can I
You
see
startled
shit
whatever it was.
Can I see shit getting knocked over for no apparent reason?
Ludo, you get a perception. Professor gets perception, as you guys were well situated to see what was going on.
I assume I'm not going to see this thing because it's invisible.
Well, invisible gives you a bonus to your stealth, and you surprised it. So it actually is a DC 20 perception check to actually know what square, or to actually catch a glimpse of an invisible creature.
But I mean,
Invisibility is kind of like predator invisibility. It's not perfect.
Right.
my question though is, it seem like the makings of something invisible moving around in here?
Oh yeah, you see things toppling over in a
We'll
path
cast
as it
see
was.
invisibility then.
Okay, so you're casting see invisibility. Ludo, what'd you get for your perception check?
No, 14.
14? Okay, so you know that there was something there, but you don't know where it ended up. The professor casts invisibility. You can now see the creature. It is a small reddish imp. It's got furry hind legs and really long hands and spindly and a cricked back like it's really, really old. Tattered wings, and something's wrong with its mouth. It's like there is no mouth there, like the skin just never
grew a mouth. No lips, no mouth, no fangs. It looks at you with these really old eyes. It's blinking. It's just not moving. It's trying to hide from you guys.
Basically in plain sight though, because you're seeing visibility, you can see perfectly. There's a storeroom in here. It has many of the similar contents that the hut itself has. However, there is a completely functional working laboratory set up or a crafting room for candles.
That makes sense.
Full circle. Yeah, it didn't take long to get to this full circle, right? Yeah, there's like some sort of masterwork or even magical candle making tools. There are lots of wax. There are a big. So I'll label these things as we're going around the room. So here's a stove where you can make candles. This is what we'll call it, a trunk of bones. You've got a crafting desk where the imp looks like he's been actually crafting and cooling some of the candles. You have a cabinet of tools. What else is down here? I'll say this is a storage for visitors? Question mark. There seems to be an open locked space, and it says place your weapons here. And there's a bunch of hooks and things like that. Like it's open. The stove is active. The crafting desk for candles is being worked. The cabinet of tools has tools that you recognize for a dozen or more crafts. However, some of them you just simply don't recognize. There's this big red thing that says Blam Bleer, and it's got like a pull cord on it, and there's like a weird blade that doesn't look sharp, and there's a chain wrapped around the blade.
Here it is. Here it is.
What is that about?
It's a chainsaw.
It says Blam Bleer.
But yeah, who knows? It's a blonde deer.
Blam Bleer. Ridiculous language. The trunk of bones is kind of a creepy bit of furniture. It's got wooden legs that look like they could walk, like little creature legs. It looks like it's made out of like an old casket or maybe like an ore bin. It's hard to tell. It just looks like a different style of furniture. Everything is worn with a great amount of use. A little imp's just watching you. Like it's almost like he scrambled to this spot out of practice or habit. And he's just waiting. It is the highest spot out of view. Ludo doesn't see him. There's no more movement. Although there's now something frothing and sizzling over the stove. There's a vent that goes up, and you're like, does that connect to our vent, or does that just go to the? Where does that go?
To the ether.
Is there any sort of dust?
Oh, there's a ladder that leads up to a hatch,
Ooh.
and then there, of course, is a door.
Right.
There's a door on the other side of the room?
Yep.
Interesting.
You're like, but that would only lead up 20 feet or maybe 15 feet. Not quite as high as it was before, of course. These are dimensional.
Yeah.
Your head starts to spin a little bit.
I will.
Congratulations, you guys have breached door or room 1.
I will cast Glamour on myself and hit myself with the wand of enhanced diplomacy, I will walk directly into the room, look the imp straight in the eye, and say, "Really now, you should surely reveal yourself. You're not fooling any of us."
He looks to the right, he looks to the left. Give me a diplomacy check.
One moment. Diplomacy plus the things. 5, 2. $23.
It finally bows low to you.
And then clutches its hands, worried, and just waits. Its little clawed feet have moved up to the edge, kind of like a bird. It's sort of perching along the edge. You get the sense that it bowing, like, hurt. Its back kind of bent with age. It blinks one very tired, long blink as it's looking down at you, and it just simply waits. Its little claws also reaching down and hitting the edge. Its wings just folded neatly back behind its back, bent like its spine.
Does the stream point this way?
I will walk up to it, and I will run my fingertips across its skull and attempt a phrenology.
Oh, it's like 10 feet off the ground.
Oh,
It's at the top of this big boudoir where it says in your native tongue, visitors up at the top, and then it says inside the cabinet on a little sign that's hanging on a hook, place weapons here. And you can see an old pair of boots and somebody left behind a greatsword in a scabbard. It points to the visitor sign, and then it points inside, and it makes a begging motion.
I will reveal that I have no weapons.
It looks you over, and it waves over towards the door, like you're free to pass.
I will turn to the party and say, "Well, you're not going to believe this, I suppose, but there's an invisible imp on top of this shelf who would like us to put our weapons in the cabinet, and then we can pass freely into the next room."
Have you been drinking?
It nods,
Yes, he agrees with that statement.
and it's trying to like look down to get a look at all of you.
Does our compass point to the next room?
Yeah, I'm gonna hold I'm gonna
String?
look at the key, see what that string is doing.
Yeah, let me see if it's pointing up or if it's pointing in. I think it's pointing in.
I'll set my masterwork dagger and masterwork bladed whip
Okay.
in the cabinet.
Pharisee comes in, the imp watches Pharisee and is looking down at her and sort of nods at her actions. Tech is already doing a fucking security sweep of the room. You can give me a perception check for Tech?
Yeah.
Can I do a sense motive to see if it can't turn visible?
26.
Tech is actually poking at the ground, and you think Tech has found where the yellow circle is. There's another hatch. This leads down.
Ooh.
So there are 4 ways out of this room. The way you came in, the hatch at the ground, the hatch above at the top of the stairs, and then the door that the imp is inviting the professor to go through now that he's placed weapons inside. The thing is looking at tech, he seems like not sure about tech. What is Ludo doing? It looked like Ludo backed
Ludo is
off.
backing into that room and he's going to vanish.
Okay.
He doesn't like the idea of handing any sort of
I
self-defense.
think I will open the door.
Okay, this door has no lock on it, or if it was locked, it's not.
Yeah.
It is not on. It reveals a very long and strange hall with almost like dark mirrored floors. 6 statues of hunched over old ladies in hoods that are just sort of, they've got their almost like clawed evil hands sort of bowed in front of them. You can't see any of their faces, but maybe a nose or an odd chin that might be able to distinguish them. There are spiral staircases to the left and to the right, doors to the north and to the south, and a great set of double doors at the far end. There are tapestries along these walls, and the light in this room is wrong.
Is it wrong in the same way that the light was wrong behind the
Fireplace place?
fireplace?
Yeah, however, it is dimly lit and you can see that there might be perception check.
I think I also this a lot. No, that's okay. 30.
Yeah, the lights are behind the statues and they cast the statues' visages or shadows down upon the ground. The walls are kind of made from a fine oak paneling and construction with rafters that's 20 feet above. There are old tapestries. The 6 man-sized statues are tarnished silver. And what did you get for your perception? Sorry. 30. There are things that are as thin as paper and shadow-like that are wandering behind the statues and flitting behind the tapestries.
There are very thin shadows sliding around in that room. I don't like it much.
No.
There's a very Eastern European style to the markings along the walls and the paneling.
Sure.
Can I read
The
it?
floors are like almost mirror-like tiles.
Yeah.
Are the markings intelligible speech?
Nope.
No.
I think I'll.
And go ahead and move your miniature.
Privacy.
I think I'll close the door for the moment.
Okay. So you had made yourself invisible.
Yeah.
So you spent one of your key points or whatever, and then you wander into the room or not.
I was gonna try and make it into the hall with them.
Okay.
Yeah, you could make it into the hall. We
Okay.
we looked down the hallway for a while.
Yep.
I think it's just a doorway. It's not a hallway, is it?
There's
Yeah,
a long
it's just
hall. in
this door
between.
is that door.
Okay. So really,
And let me make this door a little bit bigger.
really, we're standing right there.
Correct.
And I can't see any of these shadows well enough to see what kind of creatures they are.
You rolled what on your perception?
I didn't roll any perception. I don't have any
I
perception.
rolled a 3. Would I have needed to have walked down the hall in order to see this?
There is no hall.
No.
Yeah. No, I can see it from
This
here.
door is that door.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
Good,
so
good, good.
they're like smushed together.
Yeah,
It's just
okay.
that you draw the map.
Perfect.
that way.
21 on perception?
No, you didn't see the shadowy things moving. Pharisee, you could give me a knowledge religion.
Are they invisible?
No, they just kind of hid behind the tapestries.
Nice.
Oh, excellent. Yeah, good.
Fair to say, they look like this.
Uh,
14.
Small and childlike, they look like the spirits of children. They are undead. 14, you probably recognize them as shadows.
They might be shadows. They look like the shadows of children.
perhaps Lawless Babe?
Perhaps. I don't know that we want to fight the shadows.
Ludo, you see all sorts of bones of creatures, some living, some intelligent, some not, in the big trunk of bones.
Trunk of bones. Okay.
Does Ludo, do you still have the key out?
Technically, yeah, I haven't put it away yet.
Does the string move at all as the shadows flit about the room, or is it pooling just in a straight line towards the room?
Ludo examines.
Okay. Do you ask Ludo to look at it, or?
Yeah, Ludo. After I hear Pharisee say the thing about the children shadows.
Yep.
I'm invisible right now, by the way, but
Yep, your invisible lasts for 4 rounds, which is 24 seconds.
okay.
Or 5 rounds, 30 seconds.
Have I passed through the threshold of that door? Or?
No, you glanced in. You had a look. What was your perception?
15. I have rolled 5s all night.
Wow. Okay, so you didn't see the shadow things. You can
No.
see a creepy hall. There are doors on either side, and there are spiral staircases in the corner.
Ludo, what is the string doing?
Ludo's going to examine.
Okay, you pull out the key again. The string is pointing through the doorway, or towards the doorway.
In front of me.
Yep.
Alright. I'm gonna walk and knock on the. So I'm not giving away exactly. I'm not speaking, I guess.
Okay, your invisibility by this point
Is gone.
Wear out. No, it's about to wear out. You could dash out of the room or restart it or.
Yeah, I'm gonna use another key. Well, I'm just gonna dash into the room.
Nice.
into this room.
Yeah, where the yarn's pointing.
Okay. Then you turn visible.
Now I'm gonna beckon, nod everybody.
Okay. Yeah, you notice that the string kind of coils up and starts to twirl around like angrily.
Alrighty.
I'll take the Hero deck out and see if it's glowing like it sometimes does.
You get this intense anger coming from the Hero deck at this point. And the cards are fused together.
I think we're close. She's angry.
What are Zephyros and Manny doing? I think Manny's plunging forward.
Yeah, if he's...
Where's Ludo?
He went through there.
Slinking off.
Yep. Pixel is flying, I guess, up.
Yes. Yeah, good call.
Teferise, as
Yes.
Zephyrus trundles into the room. Should we close the door behind us? Zephyrus asks.
No, we may
Never a
want
good
to
idea.
Okay, Tech moves up. I think as the Shadow Children are moving along the walls closer to their next victim, who all looks like a little child from our grim perspective, a small soul, a bright soul, a soul that has come to us. I think this is a good place for us to roll initiative and then pause for the evening. As you guys have
Shown a great interest in plunging into the depths of the
dancing hut of Baba Yaga into the under hut, into the under realm.
Yeah, this is gonna be cool.
Nice.
The number of doors and passageways and chutes and ladders
Oh,
and
yeah.
hidey holes and places. This could very well be a very expansive place, and in theory, you could go on forever. The DM hint to you guys: this is just the tip of the underrealm iceberg.
Yeah.
Modron tonight. I have gotten just trash.
What do you want to call it?
Hey, thanks, Drake.
Necro-Snake?
Yeah.
What was it called?
Necro-Snake.
Necro-Snake.
Yeah.
Coming to you.
All the way from Chattahoochee County, Atlanta, Georgia. Necro-Snake.
God.
Chattahoochee strip mall number 6.
Guys, I gotta say that after being in this thing for hours, I think my breath has started to
I don't know why you wore
Entirely shocked that you wore this the entire game.
I thought you were just gonna put it on when you rolled for tech.
Yeah.
The fact that you, like a champ, wore it. Matt said, "I'll give you a Christmas gift, but you have to wear it." Apparently, Luke interpreted
Yeah.
the whole fucking
This was not hazing.
We were not trying to hate you here. This is a choice to make.
I told you guys, if you bring in
And it's
confidence, I will
awesome.
wear them on the screen.
It's really pretty great.
That
Yeah.
thing's fucking nuts.
Yeah.
It is.
I wonder what would happen if you just wore it out to the bar. Like not on Halloween. On the 364 days that are not Halloween,
It's Capitol
maybe
Hill, people would be
363.
like, all right, man.
Cool, man.
Do you got cash?
So there
Is
are
that-
furries. What do we call people who like to screw other insects or dress up like insects?
What's like the study of insects is
Etymology?
En-
Entomology?
entomology.
The one that's not words.
Etymology is words. No. Yes. Entomology is the study.
Yeah.
Entophile?
Entomological file, something like that. Anyways.
Enties? I don't know.
Antes. Weird. You're starting a new thing, Luke.
I saw something the other day.
That said, centaurs
Have 6 legs and a segmented body. Does that mean they're insects?
Ooh.
Because they have 6 limbs and
And-
I
and
think the
their body
classification
kind
is
of- I don't
wrong because
yeah.
I'm sure
It's
the
not
whole
segmented in the traditional way. Yeah.
bearing live young and
Oh, yeah.
producing milk and
Having
centaur milk.
fur. Yeah.
Which part does it come from?
Yeah. Is that
Where are their nipples?
right.
Okay, this is getting way too weird. I think we're at the end of the night.
I did see someone who had done some research on how you would resuscitate a centaur with like CPR with like with shocks
Yep. It would be
based
horse.
on where their heart must be.
Got it.
Yeah, they
I wonder
might
if they
have
just
come
have
up
two
with
two hearts and
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, they do.
yeah.
Yeah, they do.
A horse's
How very
nipples be on
Hoovian.
the bottom and a human's be on the chest? So you could
It's Hoovian. They have 2 hearts like Doctor Who,
Yeah.
but it's spelled HOOV.
I thought that's what
Yeah,
you
yeah.
meant. I did not
Yeah.
realize that
Yep.
Doctor Who had 2 hearts. That's one show I only mildly got into, and then
Yeah.
Lost